Welcome to Live Locks, presented by Scores and Odds. Dean here, Dean 78904, Dean Chableson, however you want to call me. Joined here, freshly back from his bachelor party. There's a reason why. Why is Dean hosting? Because Grant had himself a wild weekend. He would love to tell you all about it, but he's got to save his energy. He can only say so many words. He's giving it a go. He's playing hurt. All the all the little adjectives, all those things you want to say. Grant, of course, normally hosts this. A lot of times I'm his wingman, but I'll be I'll be hosting. I'll be steering the ship, and of course, Grant's going to give you all the picks. Check out his Action Lounge, Grant's Action Lounge, rotogrinders.com/Discord. Go to the Grant's Action Lounge. There it is, right there on screen. I believe it is still currently available for anybody. You don't have to be a premium member.
Probably next week. I don't know. I can't use Big Thoughts right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't want to.
That's why this is not a hangover. This is bronchitis or pneumonia. It's not a hangover. I have not drank in like 4 days.
Can you give us like a one sentence to how people want to know how was the bachelor party? I know we don't you can either save your words, give them the picks and all that kind of stuff, but they are curious.
I don't know if I've ever treated my body so poorly. And apparently 7 hours on the lazy river drinking Fireball on the rocks may cause bronchitis.
God. Why would you be in the lazy river for 7 hours? I know it's a lot
because
of fun.
It's awesome. I put on sunscreen, but apparently that doesn't protect against deathly illness, just sunburns.
Yeah, well, we have a 12-game slate to get through, do our best. We did come out a couple minutes early, so maybe some people are just joining us now. What's up? Do check out Scores and Odds as well. Grant, of course, puts all of his picks in there. I see Andy Means putting some picks in there today. A lot of guys. I partake on occasion as well, too. Justin Carlucci, STL Cards. It's Masters Week. You're going to be able to get some Masters picks there from Noto and Cards and just all sorts of any sport, basically. MMA, basically any single sport you're looking for to wager some American dollars on or loonies and toonies if you guys are watching something Canada. There you go. Hey, feel free to check out scoresandodds.com. Grant, 12 games going down in the association. I know you have some plays you've already dropped. You do drop your favorite plays in the Action Lounge. They're right there. I saw some of them.
I throw everything I bet on there. In the Action Lounge.
You always tell the people how you're doing for the month. Well, I guess it's a new month, but have you been? Well, has there been much you've been betting on?
I haven't had since there was no basketball yesterday, and I was in Vegas on Friday. I haven't played this month, but we ended plus 13.5 G's in March, 7% ROI, so up like 17 grand, 16.5 grand. In the last month and a half, 2 months, whatever it is.
That's pretty good. I know
we're doing better this month. It's baseball season.
Yeah, super excited for baseball. Obviously, baseball starts on Thursday. Oh, and Rotogrinders, Dave Potts, Cheese is Good, just released his musings. That's when you officially know it's baseball season. I'm excited to read that.
Best in the business.
Yeah, and I know, we're supposed to be company man and say that, but Nobody. He's got the results. 2-time millionaire winner. It's his articles are actually enjoyable to read every single day. It's awesome. I cannot say enough nice things about Dave. Also a great dude too. All right. First game tonight. Philadelphia 76ers at the Indiana Pacers. I cracked up, Grant, when I saw TJ McConnell's questionable tonight. Like, what? I don't know. Just
He's
really
still on the Pacers.
Yes. Yeah, it's I mean, he's been out with a wrist for all season, not all season, but for months. I just thought it was funny, the game, and they've been tanking for the last several weeks, and what McConnell probably wants to play, I guess, but I don't know if they're going to let him. Brogdon, I assume they're going to keep tanking, and Brogdon's not going to play. As far as the Philadelphia side, they are fully healthy here. And we always talk about motivation at this point. Philadelphia jockeying for position. They are in 2 through 4. Them, Boston, and Milwaukee are very, very close in the Eastern Conference. And so what do you have in this game? I'll just say
I've got nothing. Do you have anything?
I have nothing on Indiana. I just think that Embiid should just annihilate, pummel, shellac, whatever adjective you want to use. He's going to destroy whatever Indiana throws at him.
I'm worried about staying close enough, and at most sites, they're in agreement. They have the 33.5, which is a point or two higher than his normal line. It's at minus 135 over on DK. I don't disagree, but if you're going to hit over on FanDuel at minus 114, but I think that's about where it should be.
Yeah, it's a huge number, but like, yeah, and there is some threat of a blowout. I do think in his brain, like he still thinks he has a shot for MVP, which I guess he does. Not that like anybody cares what he does against Indiana, but just like stat padding, that kind of thing. But moving on to Cleveland and Orlando, full tank mode. They are tied in the tankathon right now with Houston. They've separated themselves from Detroit. Orlando's done a fabulous job losing. They've lost 6 games in a row. The Magic and Houston both 20-59, and Orlando, doing the best to keep losing. They ruled out some guys already. Cole Anthony's got that toe. Long story short, I don't trust anything with the Magic. I don't like any of it. It's all nonsense. Cleveland, unfortunately, Evan Mobley is still out. They do want to win, and they could use a win because they just kind of been scuffling. But your
bet here is Garland, the Garland overs. I mean, if this stays close, which I know that Orlando's not trying to win, but Cleveland definitely wants to, it's still like a 6-point spread. He's going to play close to 40 minutes. And I mean, he's had 3+ 3-pointers in 4 of the last 5 games. We have the over 2.5 is currently set at plus 105. We have him projected for over 3. So I like that. And I like his points over of 23.5. Hit it in like 4 of the last 6. Came one away, just lost on the hook in the last one. I know Orlando's been a solid defensive matchup, but Garland's really the only bets. Let's move on to the next one. Sorry, we're going quick, guys. I'm close to death.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want to talk about Ignas Brazdeikis?
No.
I think he played like 40 minutes the other day. Completely wild. Oh, the Magic doing it amazing. Hey, are you keeping your eye on the chat, by the way? I'm not looking at that. If you happen to see anything interesting there, feel free to chime in and share. Speaking of the Tankathon, Houston is at Brooklyn. We were talking about this one pre-show, 245 monster total, 131 points being delegated to Brooklyn, which I don't know if we've seen a team total at 131 this season at all. That is an insane number. We were talking about this one pre-show. Brooklyn's trying to win, right? By the way, it's worth noting as far as backtrack. Cleveland probably in the 7. Like they're probably not going to catch Toronto in the 6, but just I guess they still want to try and like do their best to at least threaten Toronto to take down the 6. But Brooklyn currently in the 10 spot. They have a chance to get in that play-in game to face presumably Cleveland in the 7-8. They're obviously locked in. Like at worst case scenario, they're at the 10. They're tied with Charlotte right now. And they probably want the home court against Charlotte if that happens to go down as well. 3 games left in the association for most teams. We were talking about Kyrie Irving pre-show. I know Andy likes him. I was talking about Kyrie. His minutes have been insane of late. They're pushing him really hard without Curry, without the Dragon. The only threat here is, of course, the blowout. They're 17-point favorites. The Rockets are terrible. They're great for giving you fantasy points, actual points. What do you have as far as this game?
I mean, I have one of my favorite bets on the board. I wonder if it's moved. I'll check. But Kevin Porter Jr. over 0.5 blocks. He's had one 5 of the last 8. No, yeah, 5 of the last 8. I'm saying at plus 265. Let's see if it's still plus 260 now over at MGM. So still solid odds. So it's just a bad overall line. I really don't understand it. We have him projected for close to 50% chance. So I like that. Jayshawn Tate over 11.5 points. Solid odds at plus 102 over on FanDuel. Think it's a little bit too low. I keep betting him. Has not been going great, but not stopping now. And then Jalen Green over 24.5 points. He's been just on a tear recently. Just been shooting a ton at the fast-paced matchup versus Brooklyn. He's had 30+ in 4 straight games. Hit the over on this in 5 straight games. Matchup versus Brooklyn, they'll let him play regardless, even though Brooklyn's a massive favorite. There's some solid bets there, and I don't hate the Kyrie Irving over. I don't think that's a bad bet. I'm probably staying away, but yeah, that's pretty much it. On to the next one where I've got nothing.
By the way, our projection does say, you kind of mentioned it, 0.49. We're projecting 0.49 blocks for Porter. So if you can get that at plus 260, that looks like a really, really sharp bet. And as far as you said, Houston letting them play. Yeah, I think the tank's just going to take care of itself. I like the tanking teams when they're supposed to lose by 14 or 15 because they're more likely to play their guys as opposed to a game where they're favored by 5. You mentioned Charlotte and Miami, 227 is the total. Miami's a 6-point favorite. Charlotte's fully healthy. They even have Bridges back now. Not Bridges. Gordon Hayward's back. Miami does have some bodies that are out that are kind of worth monitoring. Lowry, I expect, is going to be ruled out. Ira Winderman, their number one beat, basically said it's probably a rest day. We saw Oladipo get loose over the weekend with several people being out, but Miami's what?
No, nothing. Just breathing hard.
I don't mean to laugh and be insensitive.
It's entirely fine.
But I don't like a lot. I mean, like, stay tuned. Something might change, but as of right now, I don't think and you probably can't even bet Miami stuff out there because, again,
I don't think anything's really out.
Yeah, Lowry is questionable. We're expecting Butler to be available. Tucker is questionable. All right, Atlanta versus Toronto. 226 is the total. Atlanta's 4-point dogs here. They are in a battle, right? And Atlanta right now in the 8th spot. They would be on the road versus Cleveland, but theoretically they could jump to the 7. They can't jump to the 6. Toronto is trying to ward off Cleveland. Most likely, Toronto's going to have the 6th spot. As far as the body parts that we're monitoring, basically everybody healthy in this game.
Aaron and Chad asking Plumlee over 5.5 minus 110. Okay, I wouldn't do it. There's no real advantage. You can get minus 106 over on FanDuel if you're going to do it, but I'd stay away.
We currently have Plumlee projected for 6.1 points for what it's worth. Nothing about that really stands out to me. Can he get there? Sure. I don't have a strong feeling either. Anunoby questionable for Toronto. Bogdanovich and Gallinari questionable for Atlanta. This does feel like a game that matters more than most. What do you have as far as from a betting perspective?
Nothing. I don't think I have any bets in this game. This was another one that it does matter, but there's just nothing standing out. I mean, I thought about a few different ones, but realistically just didn't end up pulling the trigger. Let's see if anything's popping up now. I think some more bets are slowly shooting up, but as of the moment, I don't think there's any really great bets in this one. I know I had some weird off the board one.
What's the Young number? What's Trae Young's points total? You happen to have it in front of you?
Trae. Gosh, that is too low. 27.5. All right, I'm hitting Trae.
Is that too low?
Yeah, that's too low. That is definitely too low.
I mean, it would certainly be too low if like Bogdanovich sits.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Bogdanovich and Gallinari.
He's going to be chucking here. I'm hitting it. Boom, hit.
All right. Anything else there?
Caesars or MGM or DraftKings or wherever. You can get minus 110 anywhere.
What's the number?
27.5 minus 110.
Washington, Minnesota, 238 is the total. Minnesota is a 13-point favorite. Washington's been involved in some blowouts of late. They're just playing out the string. They're in that weird spot where they're not going anywhere, but they really can't tank either. Not a ton of benefit to do so. Just sort of like whatever, playing the last couple games. Minnesota, of course, battling with Denver. Beasley expected to be available. Beverly, questionable, but I think he's more likely to play than not. And Minnesota, of course, has a chance to jump out of the playing game and jump Utah, which we'll talk about soon enough. Utah, kind of in the shambles. Like there's some drama there too with Gobert and Mitchell. This might be the end of Utah. We'll talk about that one. They might break that up in the offseason. But as far as Washington and Minnesota, what do you have bet-wise?
Nothing. I had thought about Pat Bev over 5.5, but it moved right when I was going to hit it. Rebounds, the juice moved. So honestly, this is not a great game from a gambling perspective. Let's go to Milwaukee versus Chicago, where really I just like Brook Lopez over 0.5 assists. It's one of my favorite bets. Could hit at any point in the game, but it's never over. You get at plus 145 over on DK. We have him projected for 0.63, so more likely that he's going to get an assist than not. Solid overall bet, but that's really it in that game. Let's move on. You talk about the next game now.
Yeah. By the way, I think Minnesota just crushes Washington. I know it's a big number, like 11, right? Or 12. I think Minnesota just shellacks them. Portland plays OKC tonight. It's 221.5 as far as the total. OKC is a 5-point favorite. We just saw Brandon Williams get a Q tag before the show. God, what a mess. This is, again, tankathon nonsense. OKC did win the last game. Portland is at an incredible job. They lost 7 games in a row now. I
don't think that was intentional.
What, to lose 7 games in a row?
Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. They just didn't have a choice. They're that bad.
The Detroit thing, I just want to shout out Detroit, the Pistons, for playing 6. They tried to lose so hard the other day. They played 6 guys. Essentially, they played 6 guys, and they still won. I don't know if you caught this. This was like Friday maybe or whatever, but I think it was against OKC. It was wild. But yeah, they started Cunningham and Beef Stew and separately. Multi just benched them after like 7 minutes and never saw the court again. But yeah, Portland and OKC, 221.5 is a total. Do you happen to have it? I don't trust. I don't trust.
Theo. I have Theo over 16.5 points.
What is it?
Theo Malden over 16.5 points. That's one of my favorite bets. Minus 110. Just too gosh darn low. I mean, fantastic matchup going up against Portland. He's gonna shoot. He's gonna shoot, and it's just too low of a number. I mean, look at his numbers: 9, obviously versus Phoenix, 28, 18, 23, 20, 25 in the last 5 games. I know they're tanking. I know they don't want to win, but still, just hit it. Just hit it. And someone asking about Bridges under 3.5 assists plus 110 seems interesting. I ain't going with it.
Yeah, I mean, again, OKC is a team that just signed what's his name? They signed Jalen Horde off the street. Like the news broke, like he signed a 10-day contract. He jumped in the starting lineup and he played 40 minutes.
Is there even 10 days left in the season?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Maybe they'll make the playoffs.
I don't know how 10-day contracts work, but that's a good question because they assigned somebody else to a 10-day today. And you're right. Maybe they have
the next game.
You asked the question and I was answering it.
I know.
Milwaukee and Chicago, you already touched on. San Antonio at Denver, 234.5 is the total. San Antonio is an 11-point dog here. We're expecting everybody to be good to go in San Antonio, with the exception, of course, DeJounte Murray. We saw Trey Jones get off last game. San Antonio, I think their magic number is 2. They don't necessarily need this one, but like they get their magic number versus the Lakers, I believe, is 2. And also that will require the Lakers not to lose 2 games, and they're going to lose 1 tonight. Yeah, it's Jokic's world. Obviously the number is big. Do you have anything that you prefer here from a betting perspective here, Denver versus San Antonio?
Absolutely nothing. Jokic's number is too big. Keldon Johnson's number is up there. Jones' number is up there. There's really nothing. I almost bet Will Barton over 0.5 blocks. I think I thought about that, but I didn't end up pulling the trigger. It was decent odds, but
even money, basically.
I think it was more than even money. But yeah, didn't end up betting anything, and now the line's moved too far where it's not worth it anymore. On to the next one. I got a lot of bets on this one.
Save your energy. Memphis, Utah, 226 is the total. Memphis 6-point dog here. Again, Utah is threatening possibly falling out of the 1 through 6. Minnesota right in their tail, so they may drop into the play-in nonsense. Memphis, as we know, is locked into the 2 spot, cannot move up or down. That's it. They're 2, which is why they gave everybody body parts last game. Adams at a calf, Bain at an ankle, Jones at a hand. We're presuming they're all good to go and ready to play tonight, with the exception of Dylan Brooks, who still has a hip. He is doubtful. What do you have?
I have a lot of bets. Jaren Jackson wrote up plus 130 over at Caesars on over 1.5 turnovers. Just a silly line. He's hitting like 5 of the last 6 games without Ja. Just a bad number. Desmond Bain, of course, over 20.5 points over at Caesars. I think it's sitting at 21.5 over a lot of other sites. Let's see if it's moved yet. No, it's moved a little bit. Now it's at minus 125, so that one's no longer good. It's at minus 110 over at DK, so that's still not bad. I have Gobert over 13.5 rebounds. I have Steven Adams over 1.5 turnovers on Caesars plus 155. And Donovan Mitchell, I just hit his over of 26.5 points plus 100 over at DK, which is a silly line. On to the next game.
Wait, okay, so LeBron, by the way, was just ruled out?
It was ruled out like 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, you gotta you gotta let me know these things. I know.
I mean that's fair. There's no bets on the board now, so you can't bet anything if we wanted to, and I didn't have any bets yet because of LeBron.
Man, Phoenix is going to ravage them. We'll talk about that game in a second, but Anthony Davis talks some smack about Phoenix, and Phoenix is on a front end of a back-to-back. Well, let's just knock this game out first. Lakers, Phoenix. This is going to change a little bit, right? But if you have any bets there, I don't know. But I really think, like, you know how you bet alt lines? I think like Phoenix -20, Phoenix -21. I think the Suns, they want nothing more than to pummel the Lakers. The Lakers talking smack about how, well, we would have beat you if we had Anthony Davis last year. Remember, I don't know if you saw those quotes or not. And Booker thought it was hilarious and cute. Phoenix has been the best team in all basketball all season long. This is the front end of a back-to-back for Phoenix, and they finally started resting guys. I've been waiting for this. I don't think they do it tonight. This is the front end. Tomorrow, I believe you get shenanigans tomorrow night with Phoenix at the Clippers. They're going to rest some guys, but tonight they are going to pummel and just laugh at the Lakers right in their face. I just think Phoenix crushes the Lakers.
I don't hate that. I'd rather just bet the overs on points of the three main guys. Chris Paul sitting at 14.5, plus 100 over at Caesars. Booker sitting at 25.5, minus 115 over at DK. And Ayton sitting at plus 100 over 17.5 over at DraftKings. I don't mind any of those. I don't mind betting all three of them. I think two of them hit. But
13.5, by the way, on FanDuel. Phoenix minus 106. Oh, come on. Suns are just they're gonna crush them. It's over. I mean, this is I love this. And again, you're gonna get some alt stuff too, like some ladder stuff. I can really see the Suns just blowing them.
Someone asking about Garrison Matthew in the Action Lounge. Its line's probably where it should be. Saying, I mean, if I'm going to go anything, I'd go the over points, rebounds, assists, over 13.5, and minus 105 over at DK or at Caesars. But yeah, Joel hit Garland threes. Hit Garland threes. I'll check to see where the best line is. Best line is still at plus 105 over at Caesars and MGM.
Did they say, out of curiosity, they say Garrison Matthews or they say Gary Bird? Because maybe somebody was trolling me because I don't know if you know, Chop likes to Chop alleges that he created the nickname Gary Bird for Garrison Matthews. I'm not sure if you're aware of this backstory.
I'm not.
Yeah. Do you
over 2.5, Joel.
Yeah.
On to the last game where I've got nothing.
Hey, you said let's try to keep this less than a half hour because we're only at like 22 minutes, man. We powered through. We smashed. Smashed the under. We did it.
Yeah, sorry guys. I have to go to bed.
Yeah, Grant. Yeah, I'm sure the people appreciate you making an appearance. And again, if you didn't catch all the bets that Grant threw out there, all the stuff he likes, check out the Action Lounge, rotogrinders.com/Discord, and the Discord channel is Grant's Action Lounge, which is still currently available for. It's for anybody, even if you're not premium members, correct?
Yeah, for at least probably the rest of this week.
This was Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds, and of course, check out all the bets at Scores and Odds as well. If you guys have RG Premium too, it makes it really, really easy to overlays. You can kind of see. You just sort of type in a player, and it'll have what the actual bets are in particular books, and next to it, it'll tell you what the RG projection is. And sometimes it's over, and sometimes it's under, and it can help you lean certain ways. Grant, you got anything else for the people? I felt bad laughing at your pre-show and laughing at you a couple of times, and again, I really hope you well. I wish you well. And thank you for powering through. But
I'll be back again tomorrow with Noto talking Masters.
Oh,
we'll
nice.
Him
okay.
Talking.
All right, we'll get some Masters winners. Noto's a big Tiger Woods fan. I wonder who's the internet.
We're all betting on Tigers. I think you have Tiger insurance over on DraftKings. Is it worth it? Is it positive EV? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't care. I'm still betting it. I fudging love that guy.
I've seen a lot of speculation that the sharp bet is on him not making the cut or potential of him maybe withdrawing, but I know nothing about golf.
If he withdraws, then you get your money back.
Oh, I don't know how that stuff works, but that's not my forte. I will stay in my lane. Do appreciate y'all watching again. And Grant, I imagine if you have some bets later on, if you're awake later on today, you will put any updated bets with all the news kind of breaking throughout the day in Grant's Action Lounge, rotogrinders.com/Discord. For Grant, I was Dean. Thanks for watching. Grant will be back tomorrow for some Masters and I'm sure some basketball stuff as well. We're out of here. Holler.